for. So if there is anything that you are looking to do between now and 2 years in advance, then please do reach out and we can help start popping something together for you. Always good to get those trips booked well in advance. We offer maximum flexibility. So any destination, any date for any length of time, all of our holidays can be, as I say, tailor-made and tweaked to suit your needs. Because all of our itineraries are independent, we are able to put together anything that you might need for assistance and getting them together. We have a very large rail holiday selection, so from luxurious trains such as Balmond, Orient Express, Royal Scottish Highlander, and much, much more. We're able to help you with that. So really large rail product selection. Simple thing to remember is if there is a train in it, then we can probably help you. There really is no rail trip that is too complicated for ourselves. So do reach out and we will be able to get something popped together for you. Hoping this hasn't frozen. Restarting from now, 6 minutes, 12 seconds in. Okay, thank you very much for attending our Railbookers presentation today, where we are going to be taking you through the UK and Ireland with Railbookers, looking at our top trips. So if you have been thinking about something that you can do within the UK, this is definitely the presentation for you, as we will be taking you through some of the different possibilities and exciting journeys that we have on offer here in the UK. So for those of you that are new to us, I'm Charlie Morris. I'll be your host for this webinar today. And as we go through the webinar, if there are any questions or anything that come up, then either follow the links at the bottom that you have down there, railbookers.co.uk, or our phone number is there as well, 02037802222. Feel free to give us a call and we can start looking at your itinerary together and getting something on the go. So just to start by having a quick look at Railbookers, how we operate, what we can do, and how we make your holiday work for you. These are some of the things we've been told by our clients they love about us. So one of the first things is the rail expert knowledge. Basically, if the train goes there, so do we, and all of our trips can be tailor-made and customized. They are completely independent. So that does mean when you come through to us, you might have seen a package on our website that you love the look of, but you say, you know what, I really want to do that. However, I'd like to take the sleeper train or the fastest route or something like that. All you need to do is have a chat with our reservations team and they will be able to let you know. So based on that knowledge, they'll be able to put together the perfect itinerary for you and your travel companions. So have that chat with them, whether it's the quickest route, the most scenic route, or even just the best way to get from A to B, they will be able to help. So do have a chat with them about that expert rail knowledge. So we can also book all of our trips between now and 2024. If you have tried looking into any of these rail trips yourself, you'll probably realize that most of the trains are not actually released up to 2 years in advance. But lucky for you, we have actually got those trips that we can look at ahead of time. We offer the maximum flexibility on all of our trips. As I said, they are independent, which means it is all about you and when you want to go. So any destination, any date, any length of time. Simply put, if the train goes there, so do we. It's very easy, really, to think about it. If there's a train in it, call Railbookers. We're going to be able to help you. We have a very large rail product selection, so from luxurious trains to multi-country train trips, maybe those ones that have been on your bucket list for a while, or just cross Canada or something like that. We have got those options for you, so keep an eye out for them. There is no rail trip that is too complicated for us, so if there is anything that's really tricky, lots of different countries, loads of different legs, we are definitely able to help pop that together, so making it a little bit easy for you. And of course, we can do the simple trips as well, although we do wonder why you're not carrying on further. So if it's not just the UK that's been taking your fancy, but you are wanting to look into other holidays that you can do, head on over to the website and you'll be able to get your hands on our wonderful brochures. They are digital brochures, so you can download them, have them there and then in your hands. So that they're also broken into countries, which hopefully makes it a little bit easier. So if you want more of a look into Scotland and some of the holidays that we have on offer there, we have that one. We have even more UK and Ireland holidays, Spanish holidays, luxury holidays, worldwide holidays, and many, many more. So if more trains are taking your fancy, do head on over to the website to have a look at those. And something else to bear in mind, especially at the moment, is we do offer maximum flexibility to our customers. You can change, amend, rebook, rethink your trip up to 60 days before travel without any fees. So we don't charge any change or cancellation fees. Obviously, if there's an increase in the price, there will be that, but there are no change or amendment fees. So making it nice and easy to make those changes. We have a 24-hour support system. So for while you're traveling, we have got a worldwide office space, which you are more than welcome to reach out to with questions or anything like that, and we are here to help. So hopefully just popping your mind at ease as you travel. And here are just a few of the rail suppliers that we work with. If you do know your trains, you've got a particular company in mind that you want to work with, or you've been looking at doing their routes through, here's some of the trains that we work with. But we'll go back to that real simple statement of if the train goes there, so do we, and make sure you reach out. So hopefully that's covered some of the sort of fundamentals for you. And now we have the exciting part of looking at our holidays. So here you have our grand tour of Scotland. Definitely one of the most popular holidays that we have for UK-based itineraries. These are still really popular as we move into the future. Lots of things to see in the UK, as we've realised over the last couple of years, and this is certainly a great way of doing it. This particular holiday starts in London, where you'll be jumping on board the Caledonian Sleeper, heading all the way up to Inverness before you spend 2 nights there with your day trip out to the Isle of Skye. Very popular destination, or some of the sort of lesser known islands off of Scotland, seeing some of the natural beauty that is out there before you head down to Fort William and enjoy the West Highland Line, or the Jacobite, also known as the Harry Potter train. It's the Glenfinnan Viaduct, and you'll probably recognise that when we get to the images. Head down to Glasgow for 2 nights and then Edinburgh, followed by your trip home. Now, as I said, our holidays can be tailor-made, so if you wanted to spend any longer extra nights in any of these destinations, just let your reservations agent know, and we'll be able to accommodate that for you. Or if you want to start from a different point in the UK, that is something that we can do for you. So let's have a look at the Caledonian Sleeper, starting off with our classic room that you can see here. There are 3 different types of accommodation on board, but all of our itineraries start off with the classic rooms. The from price is based on this. There's a bassinet, there are the bunk beds. All the bedding is provided for you, so there's a full hotel service on board, and there's even food on board as well, which we'll have a look at in just a moment. But the beds will be popped down for you, so you can enjoy a nice comfortable sleep, and you'll start in London and wake up in Scotland. So a really lovely way of getting up to Scotland. We always recommend at least an upgrade to the club class. It's about £20 per person for that upgrade, and it does actually then include your dinner for you, so always worth it. But one of our most popular upgrades, and definitely the one to get in with us early, is the Caledonian Sleeper Double. Now, there are only 3 double cabins on each of the trains that goes north, but what a wonderful way to start an exciting adventure by having the Caledonian Double Sleeper, as you can see here. Now, they'll come in and do a turn down. You get little treats on your pillows as well in the evening. You've got a bassinet, and there's even a small bathroom in that cabin as well. They've all recently been refurbished, so mod cons like plug sockets are included in the room, and much more. So lots to see on board. Now, there is dining on board. This can either be brought to your cabin, or you can go to the dining room, and this is all local Scottish cuisine. So they cook it fresh on board. It's really delicious food, and it's there to just start the highlight of your journey. So even include that glass of Prosecco for the trip. So it's certainly a nice way to start your journey, and when you arrive, you will be getting into Inverness on this journey. This will be your final destination. So in the morning, you'll wake up as the train heads up between Edinburgh to Inverness. So beautiful scenery while you have your breakfast before arriving. You'll be able to head to your hotel. Now, we do work with lots of different hotels, and we'll look at some of the featured hotels in a little bit. But if there's any particular hotel that takes your fancy or style of hotel, do make sure you speak to our reservations team for the assistance there. In Inverness, there's lots that you can do. There's hop-on, hop-off tours, there's walking tours, there's secret food tours, and much, much more. Again, if you want to be on any of those exciting excursions, do let us know ahead of time so we can make sure that we have the availability. But it's a really beautiful medieval old town there as well, so worth checking out. And one of our featured hotels is this one. It's the King's Mill Hotel. It is actually a family-run hotel. There are 2 restaurants on site as well, so a wonderful place to be enjoying your evening dinner. And this is one of the rooms which includes the patio garden. So a lovely, addition to your time staying there is to stay in one of the rooms with a patio garden. As I said, you will have the day trip out to the Isle of Skye, also stopping at the Eileen Donnan Castle. This is actually a small tidal island. So this is on Loch Dorney, and it's a tidal island. And you can head on out there. So all of our trips with local guides. So they will take you through some of the local history, tell you the stories of the area, and also point you in the direction of some lovely cafes that you can enjoy the view as well. Even past Loch Ness on this one. But after Inverness, you head to Fort William, where I mentioned you will be able to take the Jacobite steam train or the West Highland Line. This is the train that goes between Fort William and Mallaig. So you'll jump on, head out to Mallaig. You have an hour or 2 in Mallaig to enjoy the little town there before you head back to Fort William. As some of you may know, this is the train that inspired Harry Potter and is also used in the films. So it heads on over the Glenfinnan Viaduct, as you can see there. Really spectacular views and a wonderful way of taking in, again, some lesser known parts of Scotland. This is Malay. The few hours that you get here is plenty of time. It's a small, quaint fishing town. You can walk down to the docks, take in the beautiful view out over the Northern Sea there, and then head back on the steam train as well. We can even do an upgrade so you can get an afternoon tea on board the train. It's quite a nice little feature addition. So our next journey is the Orkney Islands, the Scottish Highlands and the Orkney Islands. So it starts with a similar experience on board the Caledonian Sleeper heading up to Inverness. And then you'll have a private transfer up to John O'Groats over to the Orkney Islands. You'll spend 2 nights actually staying on the Orkney Islands, so really get intimate, take in the most of those remote parts of Scotland before you head back down to Inverness. Also get to enjoy the same Isle of Skye day trip before heading to Edinburgh and spending 2 nights there as well. Now, this is not just a transfer from A to B. They do actually stop at some of the wonderful sites on the way, one of those being Dunrobin Castle. Dunrobin Castle is actually the most northerly of the still inhabited castles, so you can go and see that. You can actually check out some of the rooms there as well. There's a portion that is sectioned off for the public to go and enjoy, as well as the wonderful gardens that you can go and walk around. So that's definitely worth the views on the way to the Orkney Islands. But one of the highlights of your time on the Orkney Islands, and it will take you to visit these, is the Standing Stones of Stennis. These are Neolithic monuments. They're on the northeast of Stromness, so it's the mainland of the Orkneys, and you'll be taken out there to witness these. These are actually possibly one of the oldest stone circles in the UK, so maybe less known than Stonehenge, but certainly older, based on carbon dating, and with all the same mysteries and magic around them as well. So let your local guide talk you through some of the mysteries of Standing Stones of Stennis. And then one of my favourite parts of the trip here, the Skara Brae. This is actually an old Viking village, very much intact still. Again, lots of stories to be told while you are visiting here. But it is a true Viking village that they would have used to live in, that's been found there on the Orkney Islands. So go and enjoy that bit of history there as well, and get a real feeling for what it was like to be a Viking. Okay, so coming back down a little bit now to our mainland UK. This is doing London, York and Edinburgh. Again, similar trip. You can go from London up to Edinburgh on the Caledonian Sleeper, waking up in Edinburgh to spend your 2 nights there before you head back to York and then London. Do remember, this can be tailor-made, so if you want longer in any of the destinations, do let us know. But Edinburgh, as a highlight, obviously, is the hilly capital of Scotland. There is the medieval old town and then the more Georgian new town as well. So real contrast in architecture. Very well known for its more kind of back streets, cobbled alleys and that kind of thing, where you can find some really fabulous boutique shops and shopping. So definitely worthwhile just taking time exploring here. Again, lots of tour options that we can include in Edinburgh. Hop on, hop off tours, skip the line tours to Edinburgh Castle, Arthur's Seat and other places as well. Or even, as I say, secret food tours and some of those exciting places. But one of our go-to hotels there is the WALDORF Astoria, right on the Royal Mile in the heart of the city. This is really close to the train stations as well, so it's always nice to know when you're doing a rail trip, as you step off the train, you're usually right in the heart of the city. But this is one of the suites here, as you can see, overlooking Edinburgh Castle. So really fabulous place to be staying while taking in the history of Scotland. So that's one of the many options for accommodations that we have there as well. Next, you'll be heading back down to York. Choose the class of travel. I'd certainly recommend a first class upgrade for this. York is famous for its rail museum there. So if you actually want to go and see one of the bullet trains, the Shinkansen, it is actually viewable in York. They have one of the few outside of Japan is actually there. But many other things to see here, including York Cathedral. It is an old cathedral town, and so it was built up around this. It's a walled city too, so you can just walk around the walls of York. Is a wonderful way to get a sense for this city as well. There's the old gatehouse, as well as walking down the River Ouse, which is a nice thing to do, especially on a summer day. Grab an ice cream and walk down the banks of the river, taking in some of the UK history. And our featured hotel there is the Hilton. We work with lots of the Hiltons. Again, it's so well located in York, and we have plenty of allocation in order to make that a wonderful journey for yourselves. Now, heading out to Ireland. Lots to see and do in Ireland. Again, these holidays can be tailor-made. We can either do flights in and out of Dublin, or of course there is the ferry that you can opt to take over as well. So do speak to your reservations agent and ask for what you would like here. But your journey begins in Dublin, where then you head to Galway to take in the cliffs of Moher. Head down through Limerick and Mallow to Killarney on the famous Irish railway there, before taking in the Ring of Kerry, heading to York for 2 nights and back to Dublin to make your return trip. Now, Dublin is the capital of the Republic of Ireland. It is on the east coast, and it is very famous for the black stuff, or the Guinness. We can definitely get you entrance into the Guinness Museum, where you can learn how to pull a pint, get yourself a certificate saying that you know how, or of course head to the famous Temple Bar. Every day there is traditional Irish music at this bar. You can try a pint of the black stuff there as well, or just enjoy some delicious cuisine. There is the famous Titanic Museum here. There is Dublin Zoo, and there's also St. Stephen's Green as one of the city's park, a really beautiful place to visit as well. So again, another town that's wonderful for just getting lost, walking around and enjoying the local culture. We can, of course, include different tours as well. So speak to your reservation agent about what you think you would love to see while you're there. But wonderful city. From here, you're heading down to Cork. This is the second largest city in the Republic of Ireland. It runs along the banks of the River Lee there. It's split either side of the River Lee, and there's lots of bridges and stuff to cross over, taking some of the small towns and everything that are there. But obviously the cathedral there is quite the imposing structure. But from here, again, lots to go see and do in the surrounding areas, or just enjoy the local town, and also amazing food there. Do not ask for Guinness while in Cork. They have, and it will come back to me, but they have a different version. So just look on the bar labels there, and make sure you ask for the correct one. I got put in my place when I visited Cork. Then you'll head over to Killarney, where you'll be enjoying views of Ross Castle in Killarney, and some of the other natural beauty that is there. So this is where you start to get into some of the natural parks around. You'll be heading through Galway. Again, you will have heard about it in songs. Beautiful Irish town, definitely worth stopping and seeing something a little bit different as well. And then we do have a day trip out to the Killarney Lakes and the National Park. 3 lakes are in this national park. There is the Lower Lake, the Middle Lake, and the Upper Lake, and all of which you'll be able to enjoy a tour around and take in some of the natural beauty and scenery of the beautiful lakes, which is definitely, if you're getting out for the summer, as we're all starting to look at those holidays now, really wonderful destination to head to. Part of your day trip will be out to the cliffs of Moher as well. From here, you're looking straight out across the Atlantic Ocean, so you can get right to the most westerly tip of the United Kingdom and enjoy that as well. Now, if those of you are here for a little bit of luxury too, obviously we can upgrade all of the holidays that you're looking at, but one way to ensure luxury is to travel on the Belmond trains. Here we are looking at the Royal Scotsman, the Highland journey. Definitely one of the best ways to enjoy a Belmond journey. Food, drinks are all included on this. You actually get 2 nights on board the train as well, and in those evenings the train actually stops, so it's not traveling while you're sleeping. And they have some other really unique highlights, like being able to step off the train and enjoy a ceilidh on a platform. They of course lean right into Scottish traditions and ensure that you are making the most of that during your journey. But on board the train, all your food is included, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The first night will be a smart casual, and the final dining experience is a 3-course meal. But everything is locally sourced, freshly prepared on board, and the food is certainly one of the highlights. As you can see here, absolutely delicious, fine dining. Then you have a double cabin. Now, the cabins on this train are quite nice as well. They aren't bunk beds, so if you have older clientele, or if you just don't like climbing up into bunk beds, this is a fabulous luxury train journey for you. You can have the double bed, or there is the single cabins and the twin cabin options, as you can see here. So that's how they're laid out. All have private bathrooms on board as well, so your own private space while you're on board the train. But of course there are the common areas, as you can see here. Now, there is only a few people that tend to go on these journey. So I think there's about 20 or 30 of you on board the train. There's even a spa on the train as well, if you like that. There's day trips, and in the evening you can socialise, try whiskies. There's over 60 different whiskies on board the train, all of which included in your ticket for sampling. And of course, you can just enjoy the conversation about the experience that you've had for the day. So a little bit of luxury way of travelling there as well. I hope that that's covered any questions that you might have, or anything else that we can help with. But thank you very much for attending. Obviously, questions to ask, you can phone the line there, jump onto our website, and we will be more than happy to help. Appreciate your time and have a lovely day. Thank you.